Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to cilinixfxcapital. I hope you're all doing great, and welcome to this new video on Bitcoin. Your daily update. We're going to be it's getting serious out here. All right, tomorrow we have the interest rate decision, which I'll try to be live streaming during that. I'm not 100% sure if I can make it, but I think I can. So I would greatly appreciate that if you tune in there. It's always great fun to look at that together. But ultimately, I mean, Bitcoin has been holding on incredibly well. I mean, yesterday we were relatively bearish, which was to be expected. But I have to say, I mean, I expected more de-risking. I mean, yesterday and what I've said in my past couple of Bitcoin videos is that, all right, well, expect a deep pullback, right? I expect de-risking potentially all the way into 113,000. And I have to say that, and I said that because usually ahead of the interest rate decision, you see quite a lot of de-risking, right? So you see quite a lot of positions being closed off. And what makes me incredibly bullish at this point of time is the fact that that has happened, right? If you take a look at the open interest, so the leverage in Bitcoin, that has decreased to the same levels as it was Wednesday the 10th of September, where the price was at 113,000. Right now the price is at 115.7. I would call that absorption. I would call that bullish. All right, and then if we really zoom in, I mean, yesterday we had quite, Monday for the past 3 months has been very bearish for Bitcoin, right? So then yesterday it was bearish again, and we also have the interest rate decision coming up. So then there's another reason for it to be bearish. But then you can see that quite a lot of volume went into pushing the price of Bitcoin down lower. And if I would have to say, we're the sellers, we're the bears doing a good job at pushing the price lower, I would say no. I mean, we reached the 382 fib right here, which is a strong support level, but it's definitely not the strongest one, and especially not if it's not combined with other support levels, and that held up. All right, and then we actually saw at the end of the US session, we saw quite a lot of bullish volume coming in to push the prices higher. Now today, the price opened within yesterday's value, right? So the area where most of the volume was traded yesterday, but has so far on low volume, right? That is something you need to know. I mean, again, the US session today is going to tell us a lot about what we need to know. But we actually managed to push above the previous day value area high. So if I take a look at Bitcoin right now, and I see the volume, and I see the price action right here, and I see the fundamentals, I mean, look at the S&P 500. It's going absolutely crazy right here. It's already been in an uptrend, but it's great right here. And then crypto specifically, or dare I say, or I should say Bitcoin specifically, we can also see that there's a Coinbase Bitcoin premium. So that's great. That means that there's, so some Coinbase specific bidding coming in for Bitcoin, which historically has always been great. Then I have to say that, historically we de-risk going into the interest rate decision, and I think it's going to be volatile, right? I mean, very often, like tomorrow, it's going to be volatile. What's going to happen later today is that the S&P 500 is going to open much higher. That's going to leave a major gap to the downside. There's a potential that we fill that. So I still think, or at least personally, I'm still relatively cautious about a potential pullback, but I would say it seems unlikely to me that we're going to drop down all the way to 113,000. I'd say a pullback is a possibility, although I'm not even certain if we should expect that anymore. I would definitely not short, definitely not, personally. But a pullback, that's still a possibility, especially tomorrow. But I think ultimately we're holding on incredibly well, and I expect, and I think there's a very, very high likelihood of continuation into 118 and 119,000. That is what I've expected basically since we hit 108 and 109,000. I've always told you that. And at this point in time, I absolutely see no reason to go against that. I actually see quite a couple of reasons that actually create more confidence for me that we're heading into that level. But those are my thoughts for now. That's what I think you need to know for now. So I'll definitely be back with new videos, of course, later today, but also tomorrow. So make sure to tune in for those. But for now, that's it. So thank you for watching, everybody. Take care. Have a great day, and bye.